Hi girls. Today we are going to continue our English lessons where we stopped. So please let's get started. Have your books on you and open it on page 74 for the paragraph of the history of pizza. I have all the vocabulary explained for you and we're going to read the text together, and if you have any question, please don't hesitate to text me. The history of pizza. The earliest form of pizza was invented when the soldier needed food to take with them on long marches. They baked a kind of bread flat on their shields and then covered it with cheese and dates. This early pizza was a convenient, healthy food for people who were constantly on the move. The wheat flour base provided energy in the form of carbohydrates, the cheese gave the soldier calcium, which kept their bones and teeth healthy, and the dates provided protein, fiber, various vitamins and minerals that are necessary to keep the body healthy. Pizza is also mentioned in the 3rd century before Christ era, when there was written evidence of a flat round bread that had olive oil, herbs, and honey on the top. It was baked on hot stones. When people explored the remains of Pompeii, Italy, they found evidence of a flat flour cake that was baked and widely eaten there at the time. There was also evidence of the first pizza restaurants in Pompeii in the 16th century Christ era. Visitors can see the pizza ovens in the ruins even today. So let's pause here and talk about the first paragraph. The first paragraph talks about the earliest or the very first invention of pizza, when soldiers needed this convenient kind of food that they can hold with them and they can have all the needed minerals and vitamins from it. So they decided to put a round bread on their shield and also put dates and cheese on it. So that was the very first shape of pizza that soldier invented. After that, people explored the remains of the city of Pompeii in Italy, and they found this evidence of people baking this kind of bread and eating it widely. And this text mentioned that visitors till now can see the ovens in the ruins restaurant that was back then. Let's continue reading. In 1522, Christ era, travelers returning to Europe from Peru brought back tomatoes with them. The people of Naples added new tomatoes to their bread, which consisted of flour, oil, salt, and yeast, and created the first simple pizza. Let's pause here. So, this is the first creation of the simple pizza. It was created in Naples when people came back from Peru. They bought tomatoes with them. So they decided to add tomatoes, herbs, and olive oil to this piece of bread. And this one was the second shape of pizza invented. Let's continue reading. In 1889, Christ era, the King of Italy and his wife Queen Margherita were on holiday in Naples in Italy. They asked the famous pizza chef to come and cook for them. He prepared three kinds of pizza. The Queen's favorite one was the one that had been made with white cheese called mozzarella, a green herb called basil, and ripe red tomatoes. These were exactly the colors of the Italian flag. The chef named the pizza in honor of the Queen Margherita. Let's pause here. So, the third shape of pizza was invented when King of Italy and his wife went on a holiday to Naples, Italy, and they brought this famous chef to cook for them pizza, and he cooked the three kinds of pizza, and one of them was made only with cheese, mozzarella cheese, basil, a kind of herb, and tomatoes, and it was the queen's favorite, so that's why it was named after her, and it's called Margherita. In the late 19th century, Christ era, pizza became a popular snack that was sold from stalls on the streets of Naples. When many Italians immigrated to America in the 19th century, Christ era, they took the recipe for pizza with them. Its popularity there spread all over the world, and today it is favorite dish in almost every country. So this is how pizza recipe was spread to the world. People, when they started immigrated to America, they took the recipe of pizza and it was spread for all other country of the world. Okay, uh, so as a quick revision and the summarization for this paragraph mainly talks about the stages that pizza went through. So the very first stage was in the war when soldiers, المحاربين, used to um, walk for long distance. Okay, so they needed this convenient يعني طعام مريح صحي. So they decided to create this kind of bread on their shields. كانوا يحطوا الخبز على الحدايد اللي كانوا يحملوها عشان يحموا حالهم, و they put over it cheese and dates. Why did they choose cheese and dates in specific? Because cheese gave them calcium, dates give them a lot of fibers, protein, and other minerals. So to keep themselves healthy, also to add energy to their body. After that, um, in stage two, let's say, it was in Pompeii, Italy, بمدينة Pompeii. They started to explore and to find out that some people in Pompeii used to eat this round bread that had honey, cheese, and dates on it. So that was stage two for the invention of pizza. After that, uh, it was spread all over Naples, Italy, and it became a well-known dish. When the king of Italy visited Naples, him and his wife decided to call a very famous chef to cook a meal for them, and it was pizza. One of them was the pizza that only has tomatoes, mozzarella, and basil. So basil نوع من أنواع الأعشاب بيشبه الزعتر, ممكن ينحط فريش هيك ورقه على البيتزا, ممكن يستعمل مجفف بصير شكله زي النعناع الناشف. Okay, so the most one that the queen liked was Margarita, that was named after her, and this is when pizza became really famous after the king and his wife had it as a meal. And when people immigrated to other country, especially to America, they took this recipe with them, and this is when pizza was known for the whole world. Okay, it's an easy text. Please read it again and make sure that you understand each word that is in the text. You have them all listed here for you. And if you couldn't find a word that you don't understand in this vocabulary sheet, please look it up in the dictionary. Okay? We're going to do the comprehension on page 75 together. What do the underlined words refer to? There in line 4, it refers to the soldier. When, line 16, it refers to the 3rd century. And them, line 30, refers to travelers. It's, line 51, refers to pizza. The text describes 5 kinds of pizza since in creation. What are they? The first creation was the soldier pizza with cheese and dates. The second creation was round bread with olive oil, herbs, and honey, the one that was created on Pompeii. And also the bread added tomatoes to it in Naples. Also the margherita, the one that was named after the queen, with basil, mozzarella, and tomatoes. Do you think the origin of pizza is from Peru, Pompeii, or Naples? Justify your answer. So, where was the source of pizza? What was the country that first, or the city that first had pizza? What do you think? Which one? In my the question has three options for you. Is it from Peru, Pompeii, or Naples? It's your own answer, but I'm gonna give you an answer for myself. I think it became first from Pompeii, where people found out evidence of this round flat bread that was baked in hot stones. Why did the question give you three options like Peru or Naples? Because Peru, this is where people brought tomatoes with them from. Pompeii, this is where they found evidence of old restaurant, and Naples, where the king and the queen came and ate pizza. Okay. The fourth question, pizza are not healthy for everyone. Can you suggest why? Some people might do more exercise than others, so the bread base is not unhealthy for them. So, why sometimes pizza is considered unhealthy? Because it has carbohydrates on it and a lot of it. Also, the cheese has some kind of oils and so on. Why is it considered unhealthy for people? Because some people they don't do enough exercise for this kind of food. Five, what would you add to Soldier's Pizza to make it even healthier and why? You could replace the dates with fresh vegetables because the latter are better for you than sweet fruits. So, usually, like adding vegetables to your food would be much healthier than having fruit that contains sugar. Okay. So, let's move to the next page that we're going to explain for today. Sorry, the next question. It's question number 6, vocabulary food, on page 75 as well. Look at this picture, please, and tell me what can you see. We see different kinds of food, different kinds of vegetables, different kinds of fruits, cereals, potatoes, bread, milk, cheese, yogurt, also meat, chicken, and so on. What do you think this is? This is called the Eat Well plate. Let me talk like a little bit more about the Eat Well plate. The Eat Well plate is a visual representation based on 5 food groups and shows the protein that, or sorry, the portion that each food group should contribute to. What do I mean by this? I mean that it has 5 sections, that each section has a different kind of food, and these sections are called groups of the Eat Well plate. So what are the groups of the Eat Well plate? They are carbohydrates, fruits and vegetables, dairy, fats and sugar, and protein. So let's look at each group. What does the carbohydrates group contain? It contains, example, rice, potatoes, bread, what else? Spaghetti, and flour. What about the fruits and vegetables? Of course, it contains different kinds of any fruit or vegetables. We can see cabbage, we can see bananas, we can see, I'm not sure if this is oranges, tomato, paprika, and so on. Next, we have the dairy group, which contains the milk, cheese, butter, and yogurt. Also, we have the fats and sugar that might contain any kind of fat or sugar that we have, like oil, and cake, and a lot of other kinds of food. The last one would be protein, and it contains fish, meat, chicken, eggs, and so on. These are the answers for the question which says find and label the food groups in the correct place on healthy eating plate from A to E. Okay, so number A would be carbohydrates, B fruits and vegetables, C dairy, D fats and sugar, and E proteins. The last section that we're going to talk about today would be the reading section on page 77. Please read the three texts that you have and try to answer the questions based on these vocabulary. Let's read them together. Boils, to boil any kind of food, means to heat water at which bubbles rise and break the surface. Grill, food when food is cooked over fire. Grates, a frame containing crust bars. Roasts, method that used to dry heat in an oven. Sprinkle, to spread small drops of herbs over the surface of food. Not only herbs, you can also sprinkle with salt, pepper, and so on. Melt, the action of heat to become or make liquid. Fry, when food is completely fried in a pan that is full of hot oil. So let's read them and try to answer it together. I have the answers ready for you, of course, here. My favorite, we're going to read the first one. A, my favorite dish is lamb and white beans. My mother boils the beans in salted water. She also, what? We have two options, chops and marinates. We already took these two meaning. The first one, chops, is to cut into small pieces. Marinates means to what? To soak the food. So, she also chops or marinates the lamb overnight in olive oil, lemon juice, and spices. Of course, it marinates. Then she grates roast. Grates means, as I mentioned here, it means to what? Grates. It's to put it on a frame that has a crossbar. And the second one would be roasts. It's to what? Roast means to use a dry heat or to put it in the oven. So she also grates or roasts it in the oven, of course, roasts, and serves bean next to it. Before we eat, we sprinkle or melt fresh herbs. Of course, you cannot melt fresh herbs, so you sprinkle them. Rush. Herbs, salt, and pepper on the dish. It's delicious and also very healthy. Let's move to the text B. To make tabbouleh, fry or chop the vegetables into small pieces. Of course, we do not fry the vegetables. To make tabbouleh, we chop them. We cut them into pieces. And grill or mix them with olive oil. Tabbouleh is a cold dish. We do not grill it, but we mix them with olive oil and lemon. Make sure you slice or season the dish with salt and pepper. Of course, you season the dish with salt and pepper. Slice means to cut. Tabbouleh is salad and it's extremely healthy. Also, and the last text, my favorite snack is cheese on toast. I like sprinkle or slice the cheese into thick pieces. Of course, we slice the cheese into thick pieces and boil or melt under the grill. We melt it under the grill. It's delicious. I can't have this snack very often because too much cheese is unhealthy, but it's all right if you only eat it occasionally. Okay? So read it again, look at the vocabulary, and answer the questions. Please make sure that you do your homeworks, and please check your workbook, page 50. Try to answer question number 5, 6, 7, and 9. And please prepare for your next lesson, Unit 7, pages 58 and 59. You have a good one. Thank you.